Okay, geometry students, this video is meant to go over the formula sheet and the calculator for the Geometry Ohio State test and all that it can do for you. Okay, so first off, formula. So the formula sheet's up here in the top right corner. If you click on it, it opens up kind of small. You can click and drag it. You can make it go away. You can make it become the full length, the full screen. You can click and drag this blue arrow to make it bigger, right? So if we look at this formula sheet, you won't need these conversions. Trigonometry, there's always 1 or 2 or 3 sine, cosine, tangent questions. I've yet to see a special right triangle on there. So, but the formulas are there for you. The relationships are there. Okay, very important here. Area formulas, volume formulas, circle equations. Very, very, very important for you. There's going to be cylinders, spheres, cones, circles on there. So make sure you are aware of these and know how to look there. Okay. In the back here, there's the distance formula. Again, I didn't teach you to use the distance formula. I taught you to use Pythagorean theorem, draw the picture out, but it's up to you. Quadratic formula, I don't think you have to use this. They're not going to ask you any quadratics through geometry. That's just more of my class and how we try to make it more of a challenging course. And then the addition rule. This is the general addition rule. Yes, you will see this when it comes to probability of non-mutually exclusive events or overlapping events where A and B can occur in both of these piles. Okay, so there's your formula sheet. So very, very useful for you guys, right? Now there are several formulas that are not listed here, and if you watch my videos covering the different topics covered in our geometry course, you'll see me highlight some of the other important formulas you should try to remember. Okay, and now the calculator. So what can the calculator do for us for this geometry OST? So first of all, again, you can make it bigger, smaller by dragging that. Again, I like the scale to be here, 0, 5, 10. I don't like it to be 0, 2, 4, because now each one's worth a half. So that confuses me, so I like to zoom out. Okay, this should be set to degrees. You should not have to mess with that. All right, that is the default setting for the Ohio State test. A couple buttons that you should know where they are. So here's the square root button, here's the pi button, here's the a squared, the a to the b button. Under the functions, right, I didn't teach you to use these ones. You don't need the stats ones. So here you need the nth root button, right? So the nth root is how you can find a cube root. So if you click on that, remember the index is there. So the cube root of 8 is going to be 2. And there you go, right? So that's the cube root. So that's under the functions. Everything else you can use your keyboard for. In terms of the OST geometry, so I suppose graphing lines can be helpful, especially if you're looking for like a line that's parallel, right? So, you know, if it's in slope-intercept form, y equals 2x plus 4, that can graph easily. If it's in standard form, so like 3x minus y equals 8, you can do it that way, and again, you can just count the rise and run or whatever you got to do from there. So don't forget to graph there. Circles, remember your circle equation, y minus 2 squared, plus, x minus 2 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals 9, right? Make sure it says, I did a plus. Good, so there's your circle equation, right? Okay, it does not put the center on there, so you're going to have to know it's at 2, negative 6 here, but it will graph this. Again, there's questions, we didn't really focus on them in class, but there's questions we have to complete the square like this, so like x squared plus 8x plus what? Y squared minus 6y, right? So there's questions like that where you have to complete the square. I think it was in our notes. Again, you don't have to actually do the problem. You just type it in, and you can kind of estimate where the center is and the radius, right? When you're talking about graphing figures, right? So if you need to plot a triangle, you can use either a table or you can use a just a line of work, right? So say I want to graph this triangle, so like 2, 0, 1, 4, and negative 3, 1, right? If you want to connect the dots, right, you have to put the first point in again, so 2, 0. And now if you click and hold over here, you can add the lines. If you don't put that first point, i.e., 2, 0, this is going to take time. Let me pause the video and put it back up there. All right, sorry about that. If you don't put that last point again, right, if you forget it, then it won't connect them. So you have to put in 2, 0, and watch it connect. Again, if you want to label, see, it labels it with the points, but you can't label them that way. You'd have to individually go like 2, 0 and label it A, not A there, sorry. Label it as A. You'd have to do like 1, 4 and label it as B, so on, right? So you can label them, you just have to do it individually after you graph it like that. Other than that, I really don't think the OST is going to help you that much. The calculator, a lot of the geometry is more about you thinking geometrically, proving things, reasoning. So make sure you use your brain. Oh, the one thing it does do the fraction button. So say you have to reduce like 100 divided by 30, right? So then you could click the fraction button, and it should give you the nice simplified answer of 10/3. So it does do that for you. Okay, best of luck on your OST.